everybody. Happy Sunday. Ooh, honey, honey, honey. I don't know about y'all, but let's talk about this weather. Like, I can't even deal. I've been talking about it for a while about like the global warming and stuff and how weather is changing and how weather is getting so crazy. Like, I can't even deal. Hey, honey, thank you for coming in. Yeah, like, y'all, this weather is like tripping. I can't even understand what is happening right now. What is happening? So we were getting this like really cold weather and a lot of rain, a whole lot of rain, and then it just spiked up to like almost 100 degrees, and then it dipped back down and started like raining and raining. I'm like, I can't even understand like what in the world is happening right now. So, whew. Hey, sister.
Hey, sister. Hi.
Whew.
How are
Hi,
you?
girl, child, navigating.
Oh,
I was,
yeah.
I was literally just talking about like what is going on with our global warming right now.
Oh, I hear
Oh,
you.
this weather, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. This
Warm
weather.
one day. Well, it's like if we had all that cold and then finally it got a little bit of warm, but then it's like the rain. I thought it was going to be nice today. I thought it
Girl,
was going to be beautiful,
girl,
but
I
we got
looked up
tricked.
Vice T, hey auntie, it's Tamila. Peace, ladies. Hi, Rena. How are you?
And Raina, yes! Ling, 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 ling. Loves and came all up in the door.
Yay. Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I was like, it's crazy. I looked outside. I'm like, why is it so gloomy? Then the rain come through, and now it's just the
Mm-hmm.
sun coming. Like, I can't even deal. I can't
Yeah.
even deal. Like, this weather is like making me feel away. It's making me feel away, girl.
Oh,
It does make
yes.
me feel away. So anyway,
Mhm.
how's your week been? How's your week
My week
been?
has been good. Everything has been good. And then Juneteenth done happened. I had the show yesterday and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so things have been good. I don't have no complaints. Oh, I got a little suntan from being outside yesterday. Yeah. I was like,
What? Did you
some
get
color? Am
golden?
I showing some color?
Golden? Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Suntan.
How you
Yeah.
been doing? How you been enjoying, your first week off
This first
of
week has been
vacation?
great. It was a lot though, because it was one of those things. All right, let me try to get everything done in this week so that way I can take this week to like chill out and rest a little bit. But yeah, I did a lot. It was a lot going on this week. We were out yesterday um
Mm-hmm.
for an event. Well, a nice 7-year party, so that was nice. So
Yeah.
it's been definitely gone, but when I think about it, each week is another week closer to school starting. So I'm like, I can't even like I'm just trying to get my mind right for that. So
Yeah.
uh, other than
Yeah.
that, just embracing. Like I think I'm gonna finally be in summer mode this week. That I could finally
Mm-hmm.
say I'm officially in summer because last week was just so much going on. I was ripping and running and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, so I could
I
finally
hear you.
say now
Especially
I'm
like
going.
once you get into July, then it's like, okay, now it's
I
summertime.
know. And then July is
Mm-hmm.
like vacation time. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, now I got that over my shoulder. I had to get ready to plan for my trip.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention my birthday too. Ooh, yeah.
Yay.
Not to mention the birthday time coming up in July. So yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited. So I am glad that you had a good week and I'm glad everything went well with your event. So big ups to that.
Mm-hmm.
I see you got your
Yeah.
earrings on.
Mm.
I see you
Oh
got
yeah,
your
these
earrings.
are my Odunde finds.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. I see you got your cute
Mm-hmm.
earrings on. Yes, honey. Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
woo. I know, last week, like I said, there was a lot going on with Father's Day and your niece recital. It was just a lot going on. So I'm just happy that we can resume for Sister Talk today.
Yeah.
Sister Talk. Yeah, so thank you to everybody that is joining us today for Sister Talk. We did take last week off. It was about celebrating hubby last week. So,
Yes. Yes. Father's Day.
yes, it was Father's Day last Sunday. So
Mm-hmm.
had to celebrate hubby. But yeah,
Yeah.
but we
But
are
we
back.
back.
We back. We back. We back. So
Yeah.
big shout out to those that are in the building. So
Mm-hmm.
woo. So honey.
Honey,
So
honey, honey. Is
let's
we ready for this topic today?
get into this topic today, honey. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Child. Listen, when I said this one hits all kinds of homes for me. So
Mm-hmm.
um we will talk about when love is not enough.
When love is not enough.
When love is not enough, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Woo.
I'm gonna say as soon as you told me, it was like I immediately thought about my dad and him being like, like you like love ain't enough, you know what I mean? Like you can't.
Uh,
He was saying you can't eat love, love don't.
I know that's right. Child.
Just in my youth, it'd be like, oh, but I love him.
But I
And then
love
my
him.
dad would be like, what? You can't eat love. Don't do this, love. Don't do that.
Love
All
just.
kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So my mind just went to so many different places. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying? Like just the whole concept of love, just everything. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very interested and curious about what you have already written down because I know you done your research. I know you got your outline.
child. Listen. This was
Yes.
definitely this. They said Duffy don't pay no bills. It definitely does not. It definitely
You
does
know what
not.
I'm
Oh my
saying?
god.
My dad was like, hey, that's what I'm saying. He's like, you can't eat off love.
Eat off love, child. Like, and I think about like
More than love.
all the times that I suffered for
Yeah.
love. But honey, yes, let's dive into this topic
Let's
today.
dive into it. Yeah. Let you get
Yes.
started.
So it said while love is a crucial foundation for a relationship, it is
Mm-hmm.
often not enough on its own to ensure its success and longevity.
Right.
Several factors behind affection, such as mutual respect, strong communication, shared values, and individual personal growth, are essential for a thriving relationship.
Right.
So,
Right.
so it says here's some examples of why love alone is insufficient.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of the foundational elements, like relationships need more than just love. They
Yeah.
need they need trust, mutual
Mm-hmm.
effective communication,
Mm-hmm.
values on like the vital components that must be
Share
present
values. Yeah.
alongside love, right? To
Mm-hmm.
build a strong and lasting bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the foundational stuff, right? The trust,
Right.
the mutual respect, the effective communication, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
talk about that again, like without communication, you don't have anything. So,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, then it says like for your individual needs and growth, like personal
Mm-hmm.
fulfillment and growth within a relationship are important. But
Mm-hmm.
if one or both partners feel their individual needs are not being met, or if they're not experiencing personal growth, even a deep love may not be enough to sustain that relationship,
Right.
right? When your individual needs are not being met. Then it says
Mm-hmm.
resolve issues of conflict. So unresolved issues, um, or it may be communication styles, right, can affect, or different values can create significant challenges even in the presence of love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Incompatibility, like differences in your core values, your life goals, your personality traits can create obstacles even if you deeply care for that person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then it says your lack of effort and compromise. Sometimes relationships require ongoing effort, compromise, and a willingness to work through challenges. Love
Yeah, you
alone
gotta have
can,
the
yeah,
effort.
love alone cannot compensate for a lack of these essential elements. And
Mhm.
then it says for emotional safety, feeling emotionally safe and secure within a relationship is crucial. If one part
Mhm.
is constantly insecure or anxious, or if there's a lack of emotional support, love may not be enough to overcome for these issues. All
Right.
right. So, and then
Mhm.
it goes into the external factors like the pressures, like family expectations, financial stress, geographical distances, and others constrain a relationship, even
Mhm.
when love is present. So
Yeah.
now let's just dive a little into this. Now I gave a little bit of example of it,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So now let's talk about this lack of communication part. So whether we know it or not, communication is the lifeline in the heart of any relationship,
Mhm.
which allows both partners to feel understood, valued, and connected, right?
Mhm.
And it says a decline in an open, honest dialogues can lead to misunderstandings, feelings of isolation, and a disconnect that love alone may not repair. So let me sip on that one because
Yeah. Yeah, it's like once it be that breakdown,
child,
it can be hard
um,
to, to bring it back.
that lack of communication for me,
Mhm.
that lack of communication, I can recall being in relationships, especially when you think you all in love and oh my god, I love him so much. I feel like women be the first ones to be like, oh my god, like willing to like overlook a lot of things and situations for the sake of love.
Get them rose-colored glasses.
Rose colored glasses, right? We tend to
Mhm.
overlook a lot of things when it comes to love, right? And I know I could speak for me for being in situations where I'm like, okay, I love this person, but we don't hardly talk, right? We're not on the same page with
Mhm.
things, right? I don't ever know what they're doing, or they don't know what I'm up to, or even if they do, they don't care, right?
Mhm.
Right. So it's like there's some sort of disconnect. Some sort of disconnect. It's like, okay, when we're around each other, we're good, but it's like, what are we actually talking about? What are we actually doing?
Mhm. Yeah,
Right?
like you said, there's like no shared vision.
No shared vision. It's like, what are we actually
Mhm.
doing? It's just like we're just having fun. We're having a good time. We care about each other, but it's like when it comes down to like the real, like fundamental things, like we really not talking or communicated about.
Yeah,
So
because love is this deeper than than just touching and looking into somebody's eyes, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But love is the beautiful thing. It's like the most talked about, written about, sang
mhm,
about. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying. Energy, like in our human experience.
yeah,
Um,
yes,
it's the highest frequency. You know what I mean.
yeah,
Love is grand.
yes.
Um, but like you said, like just in relationships, it just takes more than just love. It
Let's
just
take
takes
more.
so much more, than that. It's like I used to like them shared values, the trust, the yeah, what I mean, because sometimes it's like you love people, and maybe like, no, I'm all right, I'm gonna have to love them from a distance.
Right,
You know?
right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yep, yep. Basic communication is a lifeline, right?
Mhm.
And you can't feel a disconnect with somebody if you don't have that communication, right?
Mhm.
That's the example of like when love is not enough, like when you don't have that communication. And then
Mhm.
we go into the constant conflict, right? So when you're having like argument, or of course, when you're in a relationship, you expect to have a disagreement from time to time, right?
Mhm.
But when your arguments become like more normal rather than the exception, like it's indicative to like an underlying issue, right?
Mhm.
You know, And sometimes it happens like you find yourself arguing with this person over and over again, like y'all can't even talk or communicate because it's an argument and going to start like immediately from it, you know. So
Yeah.
if that becomes the normal part of your relationship, then even if y'all really love each other, that's not sustainable in a relationship.
Thing is like, I don't know. Because, what I mean, like when you think about, like, what I mean, if you loving somebody, what I mean, you're not going to be disrespectful to somebody that you really loving. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it could be like, is it love or is it something else going on?
Yes, yes, yep, yep. And they're saying that these conflicts may stem from unresolved resentment,
Mm-hmm.
incompatible values, or a breakdown in understanding in each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The
Right.
unresolved resentment. Right?
It's like the frequencies is off.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Them resentments can hit a little hit a little different. They definitely
Mhm.
hit a little different. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and people having issues, and then they're not saying it, and then you can like feel the disconnect into it, right? And then
Um,
y'all arguing like, what are you arguing for? What are you arguing for?
mhm.
I just asked you how your day was, and you
Mhm.
snapping at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes when you have people like they love you, but they don't like you.
They don't like you exactly, and it's a big difference. It's a big difference. That's why I like use that joke. Be like, okay, I love this person. Be like, but do you like them?
Exactly.
That's a big difference. Love and then like, right? Yeah, yeah. But that's another way that like that love is not enough. Like when y'all constantly like arguing and bickering about a lot of different things, right? And then we go into like when your physical intimacy starts to like diminish, like and slow down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. The
It's
physicalness
like,
of it.
yeah, like fire fizzle out.
Yes, 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 yes. So
Yeah.
it's like a decrease in physical connection, including everything from like holding hands to like sexual activity, to signal a loss of emotional intimacy,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think about that. Like your emotions play a lot into intimacy part,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, because it's like if you're not feeling a person like emotionally, it's hard to even be intimate with them.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Because it's all connected. It's all connected. Like if you can't like stand to be around that person, or I mean you don't want them touching you and all that stuff.
It's like I don't love them anymore.
I don't love them. Right, right. Oh my God. Like I know for me personally, if I start being emotionally detached from you, it's like like I can't like look at you the same
Can't
as like
stomach them.
right, right, right. Like when they touch me, it's like, don't touch me. Or they
Mhm.
want to try to kiss you or hug you. And it's like I'm repulsed. Like, don't do
It's
it.
like you start to love them like you love humankind. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? You have, like, what I mean, basic human compassion for them, but it'd be like
Yeah.
definitely but
Yeah.
you don't love them for you.
Right, 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 right.
Mhm.
Yep, yep. Their physical closeness, like, is a form of communication that conveys love, desire, and belonging. So once you lose that that physical intimacy, right, that something right there is wrong. Like even if you love this person, and it's something else going along with it. If you like you said, you don't want them touching you, or you can't stomach this person, or something, like it's definitely something going on. Like you can love them, but don't mean you necessarily feel like emotionally attached to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes. Yes.
that's a powerful thing.
And it's definitely a powerful thing. Definitely a powerful
Mhm.
thing. Right. And it's funny because like you like, especially like when you're young and in love, or you're newly in love, and you think, oh my God, I love this person so much. We're gonna be able to withstand everything. Everything just gonna be perfect because I love them so much.
But what be happening to that love? It's like love also it fades. Like love be going through changes.
Child,
Yeah.
it goes through a lot
Yep.
of changes. It goes through a
Yep.
lot
A
of
lot of
changes.
changes. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I even say like when it start diminishing that it may that be that like one or both are feeling like a distant or neglected or disconnected, right?
Mhm.
In a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And you could tell like when a partner starts feeling like distant or disconnected from you,
Mhm.
even yourself. Like and a partner could probably be sensitive to you. It's like, I noticed that that
Mhm.
I touch you, you don't want me to touch you, or you don't want to be around me, or you don't want to be intimate and stuff like that. Like you could tell when that
Mhm. I think our
disconnect.
problem with that sometimes we be trying to fix it.
You be trying to fix it, right? Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's hard to force something if you're emotionally checked out of it.
Yep.
It's hard to force it when you're emotionally checked out of it.
Right.
Right. So that's the way like when love just actually is just not enough in a relationship when the emotional part is checked out. Um
Yeah.
and then we talk about when you have different life goals. Different life goals.
Mhm. Yeah. It's
Child.
like they're not having a shared vision.
Yes, yes. It's like so like as like an individual, like we grow and evolve, right? And our aspirations can change. Um, but when your partners found their dreams like drowning, like it can create a rift in a relationship. Like
Mm.
and I can think about that, like especially like in my past, like my dreams and visions were changing.
Mhm.
I had aspirations to do
Yeah.
other things, aspirations to grow, and my partner was just not on the same wavelength.
Mhm. Y'all weren't growing
We were not
together.
going together. They were stuck in that same time zone. They
Mhm.
couldn't see beyond where they were, and I
Yeah.
I was just over it. I was just over it. Like I was ready to move on and elevate, and I knew that staying in that relationship was hindering me.
Mm.
It,
Yeah.
it was
That's
literally
tough.
hindering. Mhm.
That's tough. It's like, once you find yourself in a place like that with a partner, or somebody that you thinking is going to be a partner for you, and then
Yes,
you realize that y'all not partners.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
it's so tough. It's so tough, And I would spend many days like thinking about it and
Mhm.
saying, man, like if only I was out of this relationship, the things that I could do,
Wow.
the things that I could do, right?
Mhm.
I would have like this vision, and I could see me going places and doing things, but it was like I can't achieve this with this person. Our,
Wow.
our
Yeah.
goals are our goals are just not aligned. Our goals are not
Mhm.
aligned,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like you love them, but you don't want to give up your own self. I mean,
Exactly,
to be with
exactly,
them. You
exactly,
feel like you're losing you.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly, exactly. And that was tough. It's like because you love them, but you can't really see a long term future with them, and
Mhm.
especially when you put in a lot of years and time into the relationship,
Mhm.
and they just stuck. Like I know, especially for me, I'm always like trying to elevate. You
You
know,
always evolving, yes, and like
right? I'm
progressive,
always
like
trying.
constantly, yes, always. I
You
know.
know,
Yes,
right? You know,
yes,
so I'm
yes.
always trying to step up to the next level, and it's
Mhm.
hard to do that if somebody is in a relationship with you and y'all goals are not aligned, and they just don't see your vision. They
Mhm.
trying to hold you back from accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
And that's real talk. That's real talk because it really, really happens.
Yeah, yeah.
It really, really happens.
I know a lot of people watching right now can relate to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Like people can really hold you back in a relationship. They can really hold you back in a relationship. So it's like as much as y'all love each other, as much you love your partner, but if y'all goals is not aligned and this person is really trying to hold you back, it is not going to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes love just ain't enough, and sometimes you have to make a choice or a decision to say, listen, much as I love you, this relationship is not helping me grow,
Mm-hmm.
allowing me to grow. You
Right. Like
know,
if I was doing the opposite, it's like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Got me
yeah,
feeling like I'm losing myself. You know what I mean? Got me feeling held back. Got me feeling stuck.
yes,
Kind of things. It was
yeah,
like, yeah, like that's unhealthy.
very,
Start
very.
feeling toxic.
Yes. Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
And that's so true. Because I literally felt like that it had a chokehold on me. It had a
Yeah.
chokehold on me. I was like, oh my God. Like, and then like, when you were like talk about ideas or you would step out and try to do something, then they got a problem with it. It's like, why are you not cheering me on? Why are you not like pushing me
Mhm. And
to other
sometimes like, because they might be feeling that, like that they'll get left behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm telling you, you know what I mean, like in my youth, like after high school,
people?
my boyfriend at the time when I was talking about going to college and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like he just did not want me to go. It was like, you're just gonna go away to college and all these college guys and you're just gonna leave me and stuff. And and it was like it made me feel so bad, what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, I'm like, no, like I wouldn't leave you, I wouldn't do that, what I mean, all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
then it was like, I didn't go, what I
Mm.
mean? I stopped like, pursuing it, what I mean, at the time
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, what I mean. I ended up going to the military instead, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But still it was just that, I don't know, it almost be like a manipulation too.
Huh?
I'm
Yep.
saying a manipulation, what I mean, like to guilt you,
Yep.
for something that you want to do because they
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're gonna get left behind because of it, because of your growth or because you're moving on.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. They'll encourage you, what I'm saying, even though they know that they might lose you
Right.
in the
Right.
process.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and that is so real. I could recall definitely being in that situation where it's like we weren't growing, but and
Mhm.
you were happy and content, but you didn't want me to try to grow, and then you would make all these excuses. Oh, you just don't love me anymore, and you're trying to leave me and
And
all
you're
that.
like, well, it's not even about you.
It's not even about you. Like you're
It's
making it
not
about
about
you,
you. It might be about your calling or, what I mean, something that's being,
right?
and you feeling it, and it's like you feeling these urges and what you need to
Right,
move and do in your own life. You know?
right, right,
Mhm.
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I literally felt like it was a chokehold on me. Like, oh my god, like break free. Like, get these shackles off me. Like, get these
Mhm.
shackles off me. Right. Like, I literally
Mhm.
felt that way. Like, I felt like so free when I finally was able to get out of that.
Yeah.
Felt so free. Like, then I felt like I was able to like just blossom,
Mhm.
follow my dreams. Follow my
Yeah.
dreams. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
But
I
they
love that.
say, yeah, yeah, yeah. When they say like love may not be enough to bridge the gap between two people heading in different directions.
Mhm. Mhm.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like you said, if it's two people that want two different things, then you're not gonna be on the same page.
Exactly. 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 Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another example in a way of like when love is just not enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another one is like when you're feeling unfulfilled.
Mm. Yeah.
Feeling
To the left.
un
To the right.
oh man. So
Mm-hmm.
feeling unfulfilled or unhappy in a relationship,
Talk
it's a
about it.
it's an indicator that something is missing.
Missing.
It's missing in that relationship. So this could be a lack of emotional support,
Mm-hmm.
um, feeling undervalued,
Mm-hmm.
or like we just talked about before, like simply not experiencing personal growth with that relationship.
Yeah. Been there.
Been there, been there,
Mm-hmm.
That
And it's sad,
unfulfilled.
or it's like, it's like you with somebody, but it's almost like you still feeling alone.
Yeah. Yes. 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 That's
Mhm.
real talk. Like how they said, like you can be with somebody and still feel like you're all by yourself.
Mhm.
You know.
That's some
Mhm.
whack shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel good in a relationship.
It
You know?
doesn't. It doesn't.
It's like, what are we doing?
What are we
Mhm.
doing here? Right? Right? Why are we together but I feel so alone in this relationship? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
As I said, and when you're feeling unfulfilled, like even the most intense of love may not be enough to satisfy unhealthy partnership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mhm.
and a lot of people use that love language, that love to say, okay, well, our love can withstand it all. I really love them. I don't want to leave this relationship. No, good and well, you're not getting nothing from it.
Mm.
You're not,
Yeah.
I get nothing from it.
Like it'd be like the loyalty, or what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like if it's a married couple, and they be just trying to hold on to the commitment. You know what I mean? Trying to stick with the vows, or you know what I mean. But like I've known people that was just married for so long, and then what I mean, now they in their 70s, and then they breaking up, they leaving. You know what I mean? Wishing that they had been done it years ago and stuff.
Right, right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like love is definitely a powerful thing, but it may not be enough to like withstand all the different challenges that come along with being with somebody. You know,
Mhm.
you know. So they say like you could be like intensely in love and then still have different things happening in a relationship.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
yeah. So and then we talk about having unresolved personal issues.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah, like personal issues, like just in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like when you're not dealing with that stuff, you're not healing from it. It's like it just becomes trauma in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like that stuff that you be trying to, like, well, if a partner is like just sweeping things under the rug, things not being dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it starts to become a mountain. You know what I mean? From all those little mini molehills. You
Yep.
know, yep,
Yep.
and like a wedge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Them unresolved personal issues is real deal. Real deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say so if one or both partners are dealing with a personal issues like such as like you said, trauma, mental health struggles, or
Mhm.
unresolved past conflicts in their life, it can be a barrier that love can't easily overcome. That
And us compassionate women, we be trying to love folks
we be
past
trying
their pain. We trying to love them past their pain. Ladies, stop doing that shit. Stop doing
child, stop it. Stop.
it. Stop
Stop. All you're doing is depleting yourself. Like that's
it.
real talk. That's real talk. Like I said, and it's like I can speak so on so many different levels about when love is just not enough because like I was there
Mhm.
being in a past relationship where with a partner that has so many unresolved personal issues in their life, like they were a grown adult still struggling and crying over things that happened in their past,
Mm.
like they
Yeah.
just could not get over.
Mhm.
They
They
bought
just
it.
need some therapy. They need some therapy, and you couldn't be the therapist.
I know, I know, I
Mhm.
know, I know. And
Yeah.
and, and it was like it was a constant ongoing thing over and over again. Like they just couldn't get over it. And they
Mhm.
brought it into the relationship and would have like these breakdowns and
Um,
then like and would try to like drink it away and you know then it's like everybody nobody cares, nobody understands, nobody loves them. It's like it don't matter how much love that you pour into it, right?
mhm.
How much love you pour into them and you show them like I'm here for you, I hear you, I see you. Their issues are
Mhm.
unresolved and they brought it into your relationship. And
Mhm.
like I know me, like I'm not equipped, I'm not a therapist, I'm not trained to deal with this. and it becomes like really physically and emotionally draining because there's nothing you can say or do to help this person. It don't matter how much love you give them,
Mhm.
how much love you pour into this relationship. You deplete yourself trying,
Mhm.
trying to help them overcompensate for what they're lacking.
Mhm.
You know, but that unresolved past stuff is real.
Yeah. Yeah, trauma is real.
It's definitely real. Okay,
Yeah. And they be bringing the trauma and the drama.
trauma and the child, and it's like just by me dealing with that in a past relationship, it's like when I got into a new relationship, I was like I had a lot of like growth and stuff. I had a lot of things I had to get over from dealing with
Mhm.
that draining toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So and I felt myself carrying a lot of it like into a new relationship, and it was like okay, it
Mm.
started making me question a lot of things, and
Wow.
like and I'm
Mhm.
like okay, like I went through so much trauma, so many different things with dealing with someone that had so much um past traumas and unresolved things in their life that it
Mhm.
made me like feel like okay, well, now I can't really give my all or my 100% to someone else because me loving you usually backfires.
Oh, it made you be guarded.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Me pouring my love into you, me showing so much care usually backfired because it backfired in the past.
Yeah.
So love just wasn't enough. And right, love truly is not enough. It's literally this is what we're talking about today. Love just isn't enough. It's just not enough. Like you
Mhm.
can truly love somebody with your whole heart and soul. But if you got all these different issues happening, like I'm breaking down some of the different issues that could actually be happening in a relationship that can show you that love is just not enough to withstand or get through it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like it's people that I love right now, but I don't want to be with them in a relationship with them. But it'd be like,
Right.
but I love them. You know what I mean? Like they don't, you know.
Right.
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 But it's like, yeah, I want to be with them.
Don't want to be with them.
I'd be like, they wonderful for somebody. They wonderful not for
But
me.
not for me. But not for me.
Mhm.
Right. 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 So it was like, okay, so just getting it like and like in my new marriage and stuff, I was like, I know I have a lot of unresolved personal issues from things I've been through in my past relationships. So it's like
Mhm.
I need to get over through that. So it was like, so therapy was like our option. It was definitely our
Mhm.
option, you know? So
Mhm.
like we definitely went through like the premarital counseling and stuff
Awesome.
to get all that stuff out in the open, get it on the table, right?
Right,
Be-
right. To talk about all those other things that are connected to love.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? To really, yeah, to have love fully, to have a full marriage, a full relationship.
right, right,
Yeah, love it.
right. Yeah. So I was like, it's going to be hard. I don't want to bring any baggage, anything into our relationship. I don't want to bring
Right.
anything to it because it was so many different things that happened, like in my past, from dealing with relationships, thinking that love was going to withstand all, and it didn't work
Mhm.
out that way, and it didn't. It's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
so. I need to make sure that we're putting everything out on the table.
Mhm.
Anything past traumas that I've been through, any past traumas that you've been through, we need to get it all
Mhm.
out.
I
Get it
love
all
that.
out.
And, it's like that's wisdom, you know what I mean? To, that one, like working on your own personal healing and stuff, you know what I mean? And, making sure that you're coming, that you and your partner are coming in whole to this new
Yeah.
relationship, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah, instead of coming in broken, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, it happened too many other different times in my life.
Mhm.
I was like, whatever issues is going on, any unresolved past conflict or trauma that we may have, we need to get this stuff out
Right.
so we do not destroy our relationship. Okay,
Mhm.
because
Okay,
of these because we have all these past traumas and stuff going on. So
yeah.
so I highly recommend. like especially like if you're planning on like getting into a marriage or getting starting over into a new relationship or marriage, and you
Mhm,
know things were not resolved from your past, or you had all these
mhm,
traumas or things that you
mhm.
went through. Don't bring that into a new relationship.
Right. I think, and
Especially,
it's just good to just do anyway, like just, to just to like check in, you know what I'm saying?
hmm,
Because sometimes we don't even be realizing some of the issues and stuff that we be having.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
stuff that we might be bringing, like you said, into a new relationship, you
hmm,
know. So
hmm.
it's like it's just a good thing to just do anyway.
It is. It
And
is. Yes. Yep. 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 So, and it says like so like these issues can affect how individuals communicate, right? Like
right.
how you trust, how you support each other, and then it can lead to a strained relationship that requires more than love to heal it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I hmm right. Right.
So yeah. So those unresolved past issues are definitely real. I'm here to tell you. They are definitely real. Yep. As being a recipient and going into a relationship with past traumas and things happening in my life, it's like, no, nope,
Mm-hmm.
nope, nope, nope.
Yeah.
We need to nip this in the bud.
Mhm. Like I said, and that's like whether it's like, the individual, personal, traumas and things, or, different things that the relationship might go through.
Yes.
Because how, like, when you're in a relationship with somebody and then things be happening, and,
Hmm.
the folks don't be properly dealing with things as they're happening in their relationship.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just a word of advice. If you have past traumas, past issues, before you get into something new, or even if you're in something and you realize that it's affecting your relationship, seek some type of therapy or counseling.
Yeah, and it's like it's nothing wrong with that. What I mean, we be
Oh,
afraid,
yeah,
of like seeking counsel and getting advice and stuff, and
yeah,
what I mean. But I don't know, there's people out there, that are for that.
yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
that stigma behind, oh, I don't want to go to therapy counseling. Child, it's like having that mutual person, having someone that just don't have nothing to do with you, your relationship, just here to help you grow.
Mhm.
Like, and it's like, cause it's like tough, like when you like pulling other people into it that's like invested into your relationship, either on either side or both. Sometimes that could end up being a issue, you know.
Mhm.
So like having an outside entity can definitely help. Definitely,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Another way that love is not enough is when you have that lack of trust.
Oh yeah, that'll ruin relationship a lot of
That
times.
ruin a relationship.
Mhm.
That lack of trust.
Because like if I
Uh,
can't trust you, I don't want to be with you. I don't even want to be around you. I can't, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's messing with the vibrational frequency of love, you know? This trust that's like daggers in my frequency. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be around you. I'm
child, child. That lack of trust is real talk. How they
yeah.
say trust is the bedrock of any relationship.
Right.
Child. They
Mhm,
said even the strongest love cannot survive. Like if you got issues like jealousy,
mhm,
betrayal, dishonesty, child, they can explode
mhm,
trust over time. Girl.
mhm. See, it's like all those things happening. It's like you wonder, like, was it love to begin with? What I mean, maybe it was something else. Maybe it was just lust and infatuation, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 Let's just talk about them issues like jealousy.
Mhm.
Have you ever been with somebody that was just constantly jealous for like no reason?
Girl.
For no reason. It's like, what do you have to be jealous about?
But there's usually a reason. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It be a reason. Sometimes it's like, you know what I mean, because how bright you shining, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The way that other people might be admiring you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The number of friends that you may have, if they don't have a lot of friends, but your friends is always like, hey, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I've encountered shit like that, and it'd be like, whoa, like you mad at me because I got a lot of friends and they calling, you
That part.
know?
That part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it be reasons. What I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some of the reasons don't be seem like a big deal, and sometimes it may be stuff that they don't even realize. What I mean, connected just to something else. From like their mother or or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
jealousy stuff be crazy.
It'd be real crazy. It'd
Hmm.
be real crazy. Man, like I could think back, like I could talk about this all day. Like
Hmm.
when I say I had so much past trauma from dealing with someone that our issues were in the line. They had a lot of past personal issues that they didn't resolve. Very jealous, and it was a lot that had to do with them personally. Like they
Hmm.
weren't where they should be. Um,
Hmm.
they felt inferior,
Hmm.
not only to me
Like
but
mad
to
at you
others
because you're
around me.
productive. Mad at
Yeah,
you because you're productive and they're not. You know what I mean?
right.
It's a lot of stuff, but like you said, it's like they be mad at their own selves more than
Mad at their
anything.
own self. Yes, yes. Literally mad at their own self. So it was like, so they didn't want me to like step out and spread my wings or be around like-minded people or be in a circle where like my vision is aligned with someone else. It was like, no, I want to stop you. I want to keep you from the world. I don't want you meeting new people. I don't want you talking to new people.
Hmm.
Like the jealousy was just overbearing, like overbearing,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
overbearing.
Hold on, me. I
Oh,
gotta get a charger.
okay. Yeah. So when I tell you, like, it's not fun to be in a situation where somebody is very like jealous or like insecure. It could definitely put a damper into like the love that you have for this person. But if you every time you turn around that they're trying to stop or hinder you because of their own insecurities, it definitely doesn't work. It definitely doesn't work. And I just found myself like resenting the relationship, just resenting it because it's like every time I turn around, you're being jealous. You're jealous. Your jealousy is overbearing. Your jealousy is overwhelming. It's like, what are you scared of? What are you afraid of? And it's like a lot of times when people are like super jealous, it's because they are afraid of something. They are afraid. They're afraid that you're going to outgrow them, or they're afraid you're going to leave them. Like people
Mhm.
will really like hurt you or something behind jealousy in a relationship, right? It's like, why are you looking at that person? Why was that person looking at you? Like I used to get that. Like you know them because they say hi. Like I'm a cordial person.
Mhm.
So, like, I might speak to somebody and say hello, or we might make eye contact, greet somebody because this just my makeup. Like, if I want to give you eye contact, I'm going to say hello or say hi or something. And if it could be a total stranger, and you have someone saying, "Oh, you know them,"
No.
it's like they say, like, you know them, or why you speaking to that person, or all this crazy stuff. So I'm like, yeah. I can't even with the jealousy. I can't even deal with the jealousy aspect. But yeah, but they said like that's like the whole bedrock of a relationship. So if you have like that jealousy or somebody is like betraying you or they dishonest, like I've been in the situations where some people were like totally dishonest, like I couldn't trust them for anything, like trust them at all. Every time you turn around, they were doing something or being somewhere they ain't had no business being, or every time you try to reach them, here comes the lies. Where were you at? Who was this person? So that betrayal and that dishonesty is definitely real too. So that lack of trust can definitely destroy a relationship, and it don't even matter like if you like really love this person or not. If love is involved, like that betrayal is real. That betrayal is definitely real. That dishonesty, you know, could definitely play a big factor in the relationship. So yeah, so we were talking about when love is just not enough, and that's a prime example of when love is just not enough, right? So when you have no trust in a relationship. So, and another one I want to talk about is like those incompatible life goals. So we kind of touched about it a little bit about like when your goals are not aligned, things, but them incompatible life goals are definitely a real situation too. They're a real situation. Um, when you're going in two separate directions, you have aspirations. Maybe it could be like you want to change careers, or like, and I know a big one is like, say, couples and together. One might have dreams of like starting a family, having kids, and the other partner is like, no, I don't want to have any children. Or it could be one of those, the partner already has kids already and they don't want to have any more children. That becomes a big factor as well. So right, that you could really love that person, but like if y'all visions are not aligned, like it's not going to work. It's just not going to work, right? And like even like in situations where people decide where they want to live, you know, like I've seen situations where you know one person wants to live in a certain city, state, or even neighborhood, and their partner is like, no, I don't want to live there. I want to live maybe closer to my job or closer to my family, or I prefer like the city life over the burbs or the rural area. Like that could like cause the issue, because then you find yourself compromising and say, okay, well, all right, I really don't want to say hypothetically you really don't want to live in the city, but your partner wants to live in the city, and you move to the city, you're there, you're miserable, and all of a sudden it's putting a strain on your relationship because you compromise. You decided that you wanted to, make your partner happy, and you moved to the city, and now you're feeling some type of way, you're feeling some type of resentment, and now it's like, okay, I want to get out of the city. Like, do I make a decision to leave this relationship? Do I tell my partner that we need to move out of the city? Like, what do you do? So, like, those incompatible life goals are like definitely real. Like simple as where you're gonna live can be a big issue. Um, and then I was talking about like even having kids. If your partner doesn't want kids, or you have a kid and you say, well, I don't want any more kids. Like relationships have literally broke up behind that. They have literally broken up behind um, you know, one partner desiring to have children or want more children and the other partner doesn't. So that's like a really tough situation, like, because you can really, really, really love this person and then have that issue of like whether you want to have kids or something. So yeah, yeah. Sometimes like just love is just not enough. Love is just not enough in a lot of different situations, right? And then you go into the situation where like the financial incompatibility, right? So I feel like that is a huge one, a huge one. Like being financially incompatible, right? Um, so money issues, like they say, are among the top reasons that couples struggle. Let me repeat that. Money issues are among the top reasons that couples struggle. Like I can give you a snap on that. Cause honey, if that ain't real talk, I don't know what is real talk. Okay. So they said like the differences like in spending habits can be a big issue. Having different financial goals can be an issue. Um, Attitudes towards money can cause stress in a relationship, right? So let's just talk about like spending. Like I could see like like how relationships can really like dwindle and suffer, like especially if y'all goals not aligned. Like you have one person that just loves to like spend. They're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about the bills. They're just thinking about living for today. Um, go frivolously like spending money, not wanting to save anything. Or when I think about that, I think about like someone money is the biggest issue. Yes, it is. It is. You have people that like to just like gamble money away. And then you're suffering because you're trying to hold it together. You're trying to carry all the weight, and your partner is just not aligned with the financial goals in a relationship. So many relationships struggle based upon money. I could think back to being in a relationship, and I was literally like working two jobs, and my partner was just happy with just their one job, and they would sometime work want to go to work, sometime they wouldn't want to go to work. So it will be the situations where they might lose the job. Okay. Hello, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you for being here. So they were in and out of jobs, so much. It put so much financial strain and financial burden on our relationship, because I was literally trying to hold the fort down, literally trying to hold the fort down. And they thought that, them going in between jobs or being able to give a little here and there, a little bit when they got a check here, was like totally affecting the relationship. And we found ourselves like struggling a lot, because they were not taking the financial part of the relationship seriously. They felt like, okay, I love you, you love me, you'll hold it down, you'll understand. Okay, understanding can only go but so far. Like you can understand, you can be with somebody, but it takes two to make things work and makes things happen. Like you cannot be the only person holding things down financially. That can really like make your relationship like hit a pitfall, because bills don't change, bills don't stop. Okay, like you still gotta pay bills, you still gotta eat, you still gotta have a roof over your head. And if your partner is not aligned with your financial stability, it's just not going to work. And that happens a lot, especially like women. We find ourselves getting that situation so much. you know like you hear stories about, stop falling in relationships because of love. you know because a lot of times you'll find someone that will get with you, be with you, because you have your ish together. Okay, you have things going on, right? You have, your financial goals are going in the right direction, and they might not be aligned with you, and they may gravitate towards you because you got the house, or you got the roof over your head, or you have the car, you have the good job, right? And they'll come into your life, and with the, oh, I love you so much, and they feel like love is enough, to withstand a relationship. But on all actuality, it's not. And I know women tend to fall in that trap. They tend to fall in that trap. These guys come along with the smooth talking, and it's like, oh my, I love you. I'll stay home. I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do all this, but not contribute anything financially. You're bringing home the bacon, you're providing the food, you're providing the roof. The guys move into your home. It happens a lot. Like I fell into that trap so many different times with being in relationships and letting the guy move in, right? And now, as I think back on it, that was probably like one of the biggest mistakes that I could have done, letting like guys move on then that did not have their ish together. It's one thing that if you both are on the same like even till like he has his place, you have your place, and it makes sense to join together. But if you're in a situation where you have it together, you have your own place, you're stable, you have a fairly decent job, you can hold your own, and you meet that someone that could be going from pillar to post. They could be staying with a relative, or staying with a friend. They don't have their roof, but they see you as their opportunity. They say, "Oh, okay, well, she got it going on, or whatever. You know, I'm just going to you know, live with her, and do all this other stuff, right?" Hey, sister, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, girl. Yeah, I was just talking about the financial incompatibility of relationship.
Um,
Yeah, about how like the money issues are the top reasons that couples struggle in a
mm,
relationship, right? Like the differences in the
yeah.
spending habits and the financial goals, and just the attitudes towards money. And right as you were joining in, I was talking about how like women be falling into that trap with letting like the guys move in with them, and like how I fell into that trap so many different times. And it's a difference too if you're like you meet someone, like especially like the women, you meet a guy and he has his own house where he has things going on, he has his place, like he's paying his bills, he's handling business. It's a difference too
Mm-hmm.
if you guys to say, okay, we're gonna unite our homes together, bring our resources
Mm-hmm.
together. That's the difference. But when you have everything going on, you have your own home, you handling business, you been able to stay afloat, pay your bills, and then you meet someone that don't have the same things. Like they're living from pillar to post, or they are living with a relative, or they're living with a friend, and they happen to stumble upon you, right? And then they come with the "I love yous," and oh my God, like
That
I just
love
want to,
bombing.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I want to be your forever person, and then they move in there with you and at your place because they didn't have a place, they were not stable to begin with, right? And we fall for the trap in the name of love.
Mm-hmm.
let, let, let them move in, and
Yeah.
and then it's like it's hard to get rid of them after
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I watched
that.
this video. This lady, she was talking about, just about that being like just the worst possible thing that you could do. What I mean? She was like, because, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, she's like, they don't appreciate it. They end up resenting you, if
Yes,
anything. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And, it just like upset, what I mean? Because like that's not really a thing that a man should do.
yes.
So it's like they be mad at you, they be mad at themselves, what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
then she was talking about how, a lot of times once they do get it together, they leave you for the person that they really would want to be with. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
like, you know,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
instead of just, what I mean, just accepting a situation that was available.
Yep, 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 yep. You end up being their stepping stone, or been on holding them down until they get their ish together, if they get it together.
If that's a
If
huge if,
if
right?
it, right?
Yes.
Like child, I done fell into that trap so many different times. It's like
Mm-hmm.
no. It's like, and you
Yeah.
come to that point in your life, like especially as a woman, I know I can speak for myself, that it's like, nope, if you ain't got your ish together already,
Exactly.
cannot
Mhm.
deal. We could
Right.
not deal. We cannot deal.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
no.
Yeah.
Yep. I am not being Miss Save a Hope anymore. Say dudes be Captain Save a Hope. No. This
Right? Like you're home,
I,
like it's some type of homeless shelter.
right?
Like the
Listen,
home
if you
place
if
is
you
not a
if I
homeless
met you,
shelter.
child, if you was still living with your mama, stay with your mama. If you was sleeping on
Like,
your friend couch, stay on your friend couch. Okay?
right, doing whatever it is that you're doing, working on building yourself, continue to build yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
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 Be like, I already got 3 children, don't need 4.
Or okay, like that's one of the biggest,
Hmm.
like that whole money thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's something else.
love is definitely not enough. And ladies, stop thinking that love is enough when there's dudes walk into your life. talking about, oh, I love you, but they ain't got nothing going on. But they think
Right.
love is going to withstand all. It's no, it's not enough. And you, as much as
Mhm.
you love them, you cannot save them. You cannot build them up if they are not trying to do it on their own. Trust me,
Right.
definitely does not.
Mhm.
I'm here to tell you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Mhm.
and another reason that love is not enough because when it comes to the infidelity issues, right?
Mhm.
The infidelity, they said, can shake the foundation of trust and respect.
For sure.
Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Hunchy, I can honestly tell you, as much as I loved my partner, when infidelity became an issue, that love was null and void.
That was the straw.
That was the straw for me.
Yeah.
That was definitely the straw.
Mhm.
So love was not enough to withstand a relationship because it's like I don't care because if you love somebody, you are not going to do that. As much as I love you, that is my deal breaker.
Right.
That is my deal breaker. So they said that the love is just not enough when it comes to infidelity, and sometimes they said some couples can work through it, right? They can work.
Amazingly.
Yep, some couples can actually work through the
Yeah.
aftermath of an affair, right? They could do like with the counseling and that commitment to like rebuilding the trust.
Mhm.
But they said like, but for many of us, like myself,
Like
like
myself.
listen, like that breach of loyalty is too significant. That's too big of a hurdle
Mhm.
to get over, okay? And love
Right.
alone may not be enough to heal that.
Mhm.
Um, I can honestly say for me, love has never been enough. It's never been enough. So
Mhm.
yeah. So that's a huge one for me. That's a huge one for me. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Whew. Yeah.
Child.
So for those that are joining, we were talking about when love is not enough.
Yeah, it's like love is not enough when
And
when there's infidelity, when there's mistrust, when there's a lack of communication, love is not enough. You know what I mean? When there's all these, like you said, like the financial, um, like unlevelness, love don't be enough. You
love is
know.
not enough. Love them- and as us as human beings need to stop fooling ourselves and thinking that love is enough because it's not. It's
Yeah.
definitely not. Definitely not. And we're talking about different ways and examples of how love is not enough in a relationship. It's a lot of deciding factors that can show you improve that love is just not enough to withstand a relationship. Right. So another one that really like is touchy is abuse in a relationship.
You said abuse?
Abuse.
Yeah.
Abuse.
Yeah.
Abuse.
Pay attention, people.
Pay
Mhm.
attention. So, any form of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, sexual, or psychological,
Right.
clear sign that that relationship is not healthy.
Yeah.
Clear sign. Clear sign.
Mhm.
Right? And love cannot and should not justify or excuse any type of abusive behavior. So,
Mhm.
and leaving that relationship is the only safe and healthy option.
Mhm.
Hey, friends of Super Channels, thanks for coming in.
Mhm.
Yes. So let me just repeat that. Love cannot and should not
Right.
justify or excuse abusive behavior. Leaving
Mhm.
that relationship is the only safe and healthy option, right?
Right, because love ain't abusive. You know
Love
what I
is
mean?
not abusive. Love is
Yeah.
not abusive.
Like you said,
Whew.
I mean it's something else that's going on.
It's child.
Mhm.
Yeah. How's it going for the Super Channels? I hope you're having a good day today. We're,
Mhm.
we were talking about when love is not enough and
Mhm.
giving examples to how love is not enough. How we get
Mhm.
caught up in that love and that feeling of love and that expression of love, but it can be a lot of underlying issues that love can't
Mhm.
withstand. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but that is very touchy. Like with the abuse went to church and got a prayer. I know that's right. Yes, love
Mhm.
that. Love that.
Yeah, showed
Yes,
yourself some self love.
yes, yes. Get your praise on. Love it. Love it. Love it. Um, but yeah. So that's very touchy. Like when it comes to like the a lot of like people will stay in abusive relationships, thinking that they if they really love this person, or
Mm-hmm.
you
Or
know
that
they
that
they
person really loved them.
yeah
You know what I mean?
that
Yeah.
it would change, or you know they could change them, or they could
Mm-hmm.
stop the abuse. It's when someone is abusing you, like I said, whether it's physically, emotionally, like sexual, psychologically, it's something deep going in that love just can't
Mm-hmm.
withstand.
Right.
It just can't withstand that. It's a lot of deep issues going on. If somebody is found that they need to be abusive in a relationship,
Right.
right? And that the emotional can be worse than the physical part of it.
Yeah, that emotional abuse,
Emotional abuse, yes,
like
yes,
that, like somebody that's like, just manipulating and, like the narcissism and, what I mean, it's like it be just messing with you in
yeah,
some crazy ways. And, yeah, like I said, have you feeling all trapped and,
mm,
have you wrapped up in something that you don't need to be in?
yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
That emotional is real. That emotional abuse is real, right?
Yeah.
And no amount of love that could withstand that. No amount of love. Yep. Yep. It definitely will find you yourself like I need to get out of this situation, or if I love them harder or give them more, you find yourself trying to pour more into it to try to make
Yeah.
it stop. But that's abuse is like an illness though. It's like a literally like an
Hmm.
illness. It's literally an illness, and the only like the safe way to get out of it is to leave it.
Yeah, to let it
Leave it,
go.
right? There nobody that looks like they wanted to hit me. I'm going. I thought that's right. I thought that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, so that's the physical abuse,
That's
but
physical.
like you said, I mean that, that other abuse that be like that hidden, that silent abuse, that invisible abuse, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that, be all like, like you said, like manipulative, you
Manipulative.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that emotional abuse, that
Mm-hmm.
psychological abuse, that should be on a whole nother level.
Be doing a whole nother level.
That
Yeah.
should,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
People try to
mhm,
like literally try to get in your head. Yep. Emotional abuse. Yep. They
mhm.
really like try to get in your head, like you said, with the manipulative. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't like that. It's then people try to play you like, oh, you don't love me. If you love me, you would do this or you wouldn't do that, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what I mean? What I'm saying? And then it's like, that's what you was talking about. I mean, you're talking about people dealing with like their own personal traumas and stuff, it's like, what I mean, when you've grown up and in a situation dealing with abandonment or different things like that, what I mean, and then somebody's saying some stuff like that to you, and then you feel like, dang, you don't want to lose them, you don't want to abandon them, you don't want to make them feel abandoned and
Exactly.
stuff. And then, that emotional
Yeah. I went
and
through
people will
therapy.
play on it. People will play on your emotions. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
I
therapy
know.
is excellent. Do
Yes.
go to therapy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Stop being
Yes.
afraid. I was like, I know too many people that are afraid of therapy, and I struggle with understanding why still. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's like it's so helpful, like I say, it's like people that have been trained, or it's like even just giving like that listening ear, what I mean, talking, speaking with somebody outside of yourself. Sometimes you've been trying to work things out yourself for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it may not even be, things that might not even be like clicking because you might not be looking deep enough or far enough, or what I mean, getting enough in touch with your inner child, or even like that, therapeutic hypnosis. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes maybe stuff that we forget. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's parts of my childhood. I'd be like, dang, like I have no recollection, no
Mhm.
recollection. You know what I'm saying? If you're like, dang, I know I went to this school and I remember being there for like those particular grades, but I couldn't tell you like, hardly anything that happened. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't
Right.
remember the name of my teachers, nothing,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, sometimes it be like, what I mean, our traumas be even deeper than we realize, sometimes. And so, sometimes when you get help dealing with that stuff, what I mean, bringing it up, processing it, you start to understand, why you are the way that you may be in this day and time. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
it's like,
Mhm.
yes, therapy is excellent. And I wish that more of us subscribe to it.
I do. Listen, I'm not
Hmm.
afraid to say them. Like where I went through it for like I said, premarital. Because I know I had a lot of past trauma. And friends with super channels is in the chat, and she's giving us some great talk and conversation. Like your points
Hmm.
are so valid. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Friends with Super Channels is part of our team. We have a whole collaboration where we get together. Like we support each other. It's a very
Yes.
supportive
Thank you,
team. Friends with
friends.
Super Channel. Yes, great. She is a great channel. I love her so much. Yeah, like she's Friends with Super Channel is
Oh.
definitely what you want to be a part of.
Mhm. I hear
Yeah.
her. She's saying people don't like that. They don't like the pain, so that's why they don't like to go to therapy. Like they don't want to have to
Ooh.
deal with their own selves. Sometimes they don't want to have to face things, But it's
Mm.
like but not facing it. I don't know. Then it's like you can remain unhealed. What I mean, for a long
Mm.
time. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And and just carrying that baggage with you. You know what I mean? Because like I said, because you're afraid of dealing with it. You know what I mean? Or sometimes it's like, our pain or, them traumas, we wear them so like a tattoo, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Or
Yes.
like the extra layers of clothing and just like, and we get so used to it. You get so used to the trauma. You kind of getting used to being like a victim, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying, of those traumas and is, to where it becomes like a part of your identity, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Yeah.
and it'd be so hard to let go of it. It'd be so much to unpack, and it can be a little painful, and sometimes that unpacking can be traumatic.
It
You know what I'm
can be.
saying?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just having to like face it all again, or
Mm, mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. What you
Yeah.
say? But then they want you to, yeah, put up with a mess. Yeah, then yeah, she like, yeah. So, I remember thinking that like, about like pouring, like I said, I think one time we talked about, like loving and being in relationships and, things that we learn from breaking up, or from letting go of relationships and, people and situations that aren't any good for you. And I was talking
Mm.
about how I learned how to pour into myself and stuff. And, but it's like, sometimes when you're trying to like help somebody and you pouring into their cup and you don't even
Mhm.
realize that they cup got a crack in it, or you trying
Yep.
to pour into their cup, not realizing that they cup got a hole in it.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
like, I mean, people have to work on their own healing and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, yeah, what I
Mhm.
mean, go and, fix their cup, clean their cup, what I mean, then they can, what I mean, help them be more fulfilled.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Worthy, I love me. Yep. To fight third to say I am worthy. I love me. I love that. I love
That's
that.
right.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Like Friends of Super
Yeah.
Channel, dropping some nuggets and some wisdom in here. I
Mhm.
dropped her link so you can go over and check out Friends with Super Channels. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed. Yes, she is our
Mhm.
fearless leader. Um, and I want to say also to add to that is like watch out for the signs. Watch out for the signs too.
Yes.
The true relationship because I think I blame my myself and a lot of what I went through because I'm like if I'd
Mhm.
have paid attention to the signs, pay attention to
Mhm.
the signs, like falling hell over heels into this relationship and like really, saying, oh my God, stop getting caught up in the superficial stuff. Like
Right.
I got caught up into the superficial stuff, right?
Mhm.
Um, but it's like that superficial stuff was not sustainable. Like it was not serving me any type of like greatness. Like my life wasn't contributing to my life, right? It was like
Mhm.
I was more like their saving grace than like they were for me. So it was
Mhm.
a lot of early signs that was showing me who they are. You know, they were so broken. They were so broken, and their life was just not right. It was so much going on in their life, and me like, oh, you know, I really like this person, and
Mhm.
you
I can
know,
help him.
I can help them and stuff. It ends up being like the worst relationship in my whole entire life.
Mhm.
Trying to help this broken person.
Yeah.
If I'd have ran for the hills,
Mhm.
if I'd have just ran for the hills because the signs were there that this person was so broken and that this was not going to end well, I
Mhm.
probably would have saved myself a lot of years of grief. I probably would have saved myself
Right.
a lot of years of grief, right? Because
Yeah.
in every aspect, it was like they needed me more than I needed them, you know?
Mhm.
And I just couldn't help their brokenness, and they needed therapy, and therapy was totally out of the question for them. They didn't think they needed therapy, right?
Mhm.
So in turn, they were making my life miserable. So that goes
Yeah.
into like the substance abuse, right? So
Yeah.
like uh, so addiction can create a significant wedge too between partners, right?
Mhm.
Leading to
Right.
the broken stress, broken trust, leading to the financial strain of relationship and the emotional distress. I couldn't
Mhm.
even like talk about that substance abuse. Like, and it wasn't like the drugs. It was just the abuse of like the alcohol.
Mhm.
Or like that was their way of coping and getting through day to day.
Yeah.
The abuse, like have to have that drink every day. And you know how you have like those good drunks and you have those crazy drunks, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, I was dealing with the crazy drunk that when every time they
Mhm.
drink, like they would get more like angrier, or they get more cases of like the Rams and
Mhm.
things, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and they would spend their last nickel on buying something to drink as opposed to putting it in the household. That they
Mhm.
couldn't go day to day without having that drink,
Right. Wow.
right? Right, which put a lot
Mhm.
of financial strain because it's like, okay,
Mhm.
you really going to spend your last $15-$20 on that as opposed to like putting groceries in the fridge or something,
Wow.
you
Yeah,
know?
that made me think about just even like families, outside of, just, when you think about other relationship dynamics, what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, sometimes it be people like that and like they parents, they siblings, like they family members and stuff, what I mean, have a really difficult time dealing with them. And it's like they love that person, you love your family member, but it's like you still can't deal with them. You can't deal with their addiction, what I mean? And it still goes back to, them like so like getting therapy, getting to the root of their problems.
right.
I mean, so that they not, becoming a burden or laying those traumas at other people's doorsteps and stuff.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and they said like recovery is complex, okay, and
Yeah.
it requires more than love to get to that.
Mhm.
It requires more than love.
Those
Uh,
moments when love is not enough.
it's not enough. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that substance abuse is no joke, but it's
Mhm.
definitely like love cannot withstand that. Definitely can't withstand that. And then we're gonna go into like the emotional neglect.
Mhm.
It kind of like we're talking about like when you're like feeling like neglected and stuff like that. But that emotional neglect, like feeling unseen or unheard or unappreciated
Right.
by, by a
Mhm.
partner, is a sign of emotional neglect, right?
Yeah.
Right. Can lead to like the sense of loneliness and like the isolation, right?
Mhm.
That emotional neglect, like is definitely like a real deal.
Right.
It-
Yeah. Mhm. It is. And I've heard stories, people sometimes like they don't even realize that they are that way or that they're being that way with their partner, you
mhm,
know.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
mhm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The people don't understand like how we were talking about earlier. Like you can be with someone and still feel alone.
Mhm.
right? Because like you're not getting emotional fulfillment, right? Like you can't talk to this person, like you're not having any communication with this person. Like, and people don't understand that could really play on your psyche. Like, it's like, why? Like, are you not emotionally like there for me? And then,
Mhm.
and know what that causes problems too, because then people like step out looking for that emotional comfort,
And then they end up, like you said, in an emotional relationship with somebody
emotional,
else.
an emotional relationship
Yeah.
with somebody else.
Mhm.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely like learned throughout the years, like, okay, like if my partner is like feeling emotion, is I'm seeing emotional detachment, like we're not talking, or
Mhm.
they just seem like they're off in the stars or the distance. It's like, okay, what's going on?
Mhm.
What's going on? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's things that you can do about that. You know what I mean? Try to find, ways to connect, connect with them with what they're doing, or, try to get them to connect with you with what you're doing and
mm-hmm,
stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. Start incorporating date nights and, different little things and stuff.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Our friends with super channels, they're saying.
mm-hmm.
I felt that way once. And I told my therapist, yeah, she said the guy don't know how to be there for me because he don't know how to be there for himself. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes,
How
yes,
about that? How about
yes.
that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's real
Mhm.
though. That's real talk. That's real talk. Yep.
Yeah.
Like if you can't be there for yourself, how you gonna be there for somebody else?
Right, right. If you don't know how to show up for yourself,
So for
yeah,
yourself, right?
yeah, how you
Right,
gonna show up for someone else?
right. Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
And then it says like the constant sacrificing, the
Mm.
constant sacrificing. So
Yeah.
like relationships should be mutual give and take, right? Should be mutual give and
Mhm.
right? But like when one partner consistently sacrifices their needs, their desires, and their happiness for the other, it can lead to resentment or your loss of self identity.
Right.
Mic drop.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's like it creates quite an imbalance in a relationship,
How?
too. Like you said, it's like, I'm giving up this, I'm giving up that. I'm not going here, because I'm making time, for you, but noticing you're not doing the same thing for me.
That part. That
Yeah.
part. That part. Consistently sacrificing your needs for someone else's. Like when I say that is real talk,
Mhm.
constantly pouring into someone else, like losing yourself. Yeah, she said
Mhm.
she got you into therapy. That was the best move I made. Correction, God made
Yeah.
it for me. Follow through. My family first says I'm in the cook. Laugh aloud. That's because I'm not playing the role they were used to. Okay, listen, listen.
Mhm.
All you gotta do what you need to do for you, right?
Mhm.
The day you gotta do what's best for you, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm. It'd be crazy too, like, 'cause sometimes, like, when you with somebody and then they start noticing that you're bettering yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They noticing that you're, like, say, you're advancing, yourself and things, and then it's like they be mad at you because of that, you
Yes.
know?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it starts with you, and like when you're doing the constant sacrificing. Well, I could just think about so many different times that
Mhm.
sacrifice, right? Myself putting their needs before mine, feeling
Right.
lost, feeling
Mm.
lost, feeling depleted, right? And I
Mhm.
always say like if my cup is empty, how can I fill yours, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. You gotta fill your own cup.
gotta fill your own cup. You have to fill your own cup, right? And it's like as much as
Mhm.
you like really like love somebody, if they're constantly pulling and depleting you, your love is not going to withstand that. It's not going to withstand that. It's not
No.
going to withstand it, right?
Mhm.
Whew, I would say your loss
Yeah.
of your self identity, losing yourself,
Indeed.
losing yourself. It becomes more
Mhm.
about your partner and less about you.
Right, right. And because, you got to maintain that love for yourself.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It's like if you loving somebody else more than you loving your own self, you know what I mean? It's like that's ass backwards. You
but
know what I'm
it
saying?
happens.
It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? But it's like you're just asking for, for things to, to fall apart. You know what I mean? Like that's just not the right way of, doing things. And so it's going to end up doomed, you
It is
know.
going to end up. It is going to end up. And how you
Mhm.
said you made a statement earlier about like, especially like when you're like, when you like you're building someone up, and when they get to where they want to be, if you poured, you lost yourself. You lost
Mhm.
everything about you for this person, right? And then they ended up getting or elevating, getting to where they need to be, and then they leave you for something else,
Mhm.
or goes, and then you're left with all this resentment, all these regrets. It's
Mhm.
like much as I love them so much. I help elevate them, I help lift them up. Like I help build up their company, or I pour so much into that. And then but their love wasn't enough. They still love me, or all the different scenarios that could go,
Mhm.
all the different, like love is not enough in these situations when you are
Mhm.
sacrificing. Love is just not enough in these situations.
Mhm.
It's just not enough. And I keep
Yeah.
thinking about, but as I'm talking about, I'm thinking about the movie when what is it?
Oprah
Wait
movie.
to Exhale. Wait to
Oh, waiting
Exhale.
to exhale. He was like, was it
Yep.
11 years?
11 years of my
11
life,
years.
like you sacrificed,
You said
right?
shit.
Listen, she's like, I pour everything to help you build this company up from the ground, right? And
Mhm.
now that you got to where you are, now you want to leave me for a white girl? Like, are you serious?
Mhm.
Right? But
Yeah,
that
but
was
that's an example of how, like, she should have been pouring into herself. You know what I mean?
right.
But
People not.
but it's like she thought that she was doing the right thing. You know what I mean? It was her husband. They got children. You know what I mean? She figured like that's what a wife is supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like she was loving him, but he wasn't loving her. He was loving what she was doing for him.
Yup. Exactly.
Mhm.
Hard love was not enough in that situation. It just wasn't enough. She put
Mhm.
his needs before hers, so many sacrifices, and then look what
Mhm.
happened. Lose yourself, right?
Mhm.
It's a doctor that says like being in a relationship should boost you and not drain you.
Mhm. Indeed. I'm like, if you feeling drained, then
Yes.
yeah, that like pay attention to your body. Please
Yeah.
pay attention to your intuition. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's like, if you around somebody and then you're not feeling good, you know what I'm saying? You know, after being around them, you feeling drained and stuff, that's probably somebody that's a signal. That's
Yes.
a
Yes.
signal, you know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
this, might not be the best situation for you to be in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It should
Hmm.
boost you, not drain you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, so if you're around somebody and you feeling good, you feeling alive, you feeling radiant and stuff like that, being around them, then, hey, that's a signal too.
That's a signal too. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. Them
Mhm.
sacrifices is real, honey. And then we
Yeah.
talk like the long distance challenges. Like, ooh, I know that. I've been there too.
Right.
The long
It
distance
didn't work for
challenges.
me.
Child.
Child. Mm-mm. It didn't work. Yeah.
Woo! Let's just talk
Mhm.
about that. Mm. Woo! Like they say the long distance relationships face unique challenges. And they
Yeah.
do, and they do. Yep.
Mhm.
Not only are you having that lack of physical intimacy, right? But you can have difficulties in communicating and that strain from just living apart from that person.
Right. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of what's that, like, just intentional effort, you
Yes.
know what I'm saying, for situations like that, to work out. And I mean, and it could be done. Nothing. And in my big age, my mature age now, I don't necessarily feel like it would be as much of a problem. Um, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I could do it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but it's choosing,
Mhm.
it would be you would be making a choice of like, okay, you know what I mean, making sure I'm making the phone calls, making sure I'm doing the video chats and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Maintain the communication really well and stuff and the
Mhm.
intimacy, scheduling
Mhm.
visits and things.
Right.
Mm,
Right. But them
mhm.
long distance relationship, child, I've been there, honey.
Going
And
back.
it's like, and it's like, it's like you really love this person. And I remember I would feel so guilty because I was like,
Mhm.
man, we had a great relationship, right? And long as
Mhm.
and we stayed married until his death 50 years ago. Very sure I had a long distance relationship. Communication. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You have
Yeah.
both you on the same page. You just got to be on the same page
Mhm.
because I could think about when I was in a relationship and I decided to move out of state to pursue college and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And thinking like, okay, our love is so strong. We had this great relationship. We really, really love each other. So we're gonna be fine. We're gonna go to school. Everything's gonna be good, honey. Huh? Little
Mhm.
I know that love was just not enough.
Mhm.
Stay in that relationship, okay? And
Yep.
it's like me trying to hold on, like they really
Mhm.
love me. Like there's nothing gonna break us apart. Having that faith that our love will stand all, right? Love is gonna
Uh-huh.
get us through us doing this
Mhm.
long distance thing, child.
It'd be too many other people around.
Love was
Right.
working on for me. I was in love and I was holding it down, but love wasn't enough on their behalf. Okay,
Mhm.
child.
Yeah.
That lack of not being around each other and that physical and all that stuff got
Yeah.
into it, honey. That went down the water.
Mhm.
That
Real
went
quick.
down the water. Ah.
Real quick. They be like, "What?
So
They
the
gone?"
best that have
Yeah.
worked on the I know that's right, you know.
Mhm.
Yes, I was like, but they were young. It was like you said, the maturity plays a lot. Like I feel like I was mature enough to withstand it,
Yeah.
but they were not.
Mhm.
So that
Mm.
and I found myself saying, well, suppose I didn't leave. Suppose I didn't go to pursue my dreams. Suppose I would have stayed. Our
Mhm.
relationship might have survived. Like it was all those what
Mhm.
ifs. And then I had to be like, but it should have survived anyway. If love was enough and we had that strong bond and that strong commitment, they should have been able to be hold it down on her and let me pursue my dreams and then us come back together. Right?
Yeah.
So, but it was
It's
always
tough,
one
man. Because I know, like with me, it's like like the distrust came in. You
right.
know what I'm saying? It's like and once the distrust kicks in, and then yeah, it
They were
just
not
got
ready.
to be too much. It's got
Yeah.
to be too much, and it's like I'm too young for this level of stress. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what I mean? Worrying about what he doing, who he talking to, who he with. You know what I'm saying? Like just all the time, and him being the same way and telling me, "Oh, I don't want you wearing skirts around." What? It was just too much.
Too
Too
much.
much.
Too
Yeah.
much. Yeah. 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 So
Mhm.
that distrust came real like a flash of light for me when like child love mommy, love mommy, love mommy. Like I had no clue that all this stuff was happening, honey, because it was good to take the funk.
Mhm.
She called me like, I think I see his car out there. Is his license plate XYZ? I'm like, yes,
Why
yes.
you been around there? I'm up here.
Like, I just talk about, well, it is some female driving his car. What? Clenching my pearls.
Mhm.
What? Why is some female driving his car? Girl, I was like, that was the
Mhm.
beginning of the end.
Yeah. See, and
That
I'm
was
like,
the
and then you far away, and then it's like
far away. You can't do nothing
Mhm.
about it. This girl ride my man car. I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
God. Honey,
Yeah.
and then it was a confrontation for me. Like, well, who you had in your car? Like, what are you talking about? Then here come all
Mhm.
the
And
line
then
of
and then
like,
gaslight you like you crazy.
right? Like, no nobody. About, it was a neighbor needed a ride, but they drive in your car, but
Mhm.
right. So, mommy bless her heart. She like, oh, I'm gonna go. Next time I see the girl, I'm gonna call in the house. I was like, mommy was messy. Mommy was messy, boy. She was like, I'm gonna call her right on over here. And I be doggone that she saw that girl driving that car again. Then because it came to all the denial and the lies and stuff.
Mhm.
They just a friend. I'm giving them a ride, all the other
Yeah.
stuff, like trying to negate with everything that I'm being told.
Mhm.
Come here. I got my daughter on the phone. Come here, look,
Mhm.
girl. The girl was happy to give up tapes. Happy,
Oh.
willing to give up tapes, honey.
Mhm. She was
Tied
like,
the neck,
mm-hmm.
all this stuff,
And
and
he been, mm-hmm. And I've been, mm-hmm.
girl, that part,
Doing
that
it
part.
all.
Oh, willing to give up the tapes, and then it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and to add more insult to injury, it was like, and I knew that you was out of state.
Oh,
I knew
wow.
this, but
Mm-mm.
but men are gullible, so I figured that I would just play on that, and this is where we are.
So, mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
is
I
for
had a
you.
situation like that.
So
Yeah.
I heard too much. Oh, it was a blast. I had fun. I trusted him
Mm,
because we had a plan and we stuck to it. We got married. Yay! Love
yeah.
that.
Yes. Hey,
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Yes. My brother Craig just came in.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
Craig.
love. Craig is up in New York.
Hey, Craig.
Yes. But yeah, I had
Yes.
a situation like that. The girl called me up and she was like, yeah, like I said, I was all clueless about it. Long distance relationship.
Uh-huh.
And but she was like, yeah, like told me like you might as well go ahead and let him go. You know what I'm saying? Like he here with me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be here. He be at my house. I was just like so broken up and broken hearted. Yep. But she
Girl,
was just like telling it all. And then,
they-
and finally she was like, matter of fact, I'm gonna call you back when he get here. I was like, okay. And
and
she
you
called me
see,
back and put him on the phone. And he
you,
was
you
just
see
like,
how
oh, I'm
willing,
shook. I'm shook. Yes. She
you see
called him
how
back and
willing
called
they
him.
are willing to break it down for you. Willing to
Oh
break it down.
yeah, she let me know. Like, she was like, "Oh, he was yours," you
He
know what I mean. But
was.
like, he's been
Right.
here with me, and I was just like, "Oh." And then after that, I just deleted both numbers. Everybody number was like, "All right, well, you got it." Like,
Okay.
for real, like you said, he's down there in a whole nother state with you. What I'm gonna
Okay.
do?
Okay.
Be up here
That
in
part.
Philadelphia crying? Nope.
Child.
And like
Child.
I said, like I keep my heart open, so love will always find his way back in. But I was just like, wow. Yep.
Child. Girl.
Mhm.
Girl. Yes. Yes. That long distance stuff, child. Hey, don't
Yeah.
joke. Like you said, like I love Gio's story. It's amazing. Like she said, they had a plan, they stuck to it, ended up getting married.
Yeah.
That is a sign that love can withstand. But I know for me, that long distance did not work, and it wasn't, and it had anything to do with me. It was my partner just couldn't keep it together.
Mhm.
That's the distance. They couldn't. Love wasn't strong enough to withstand with the distance with us. So, and
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time blaming myself. Like, well, what if I didn't leave? What if I would just stayed? And then it's like, but girl,
Mhm.
like, why should I have to sacrifice my dreams? For this relationship. Like, I
Yeah,
should have
he
been
might
able to
end
do
up
that.
doing it in your face.
Right.
You
You
know
know
what I'm
what I'm saying?
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, love is a temporary emotion.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
it fades. Like you said, it could be like just the frequency that you in at the moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But our frequencies is always changing.
Yes,
We
it
are
is.
very changeable people.
Mm-hmm. Should not be the
Yeah,
only factor. That's what's that. That's what we're talking about.
exactly.
But
Yes.
love is not enough. No,
Yes.
listen, we both was tired and wore out and was ready to settle down. Most men don't settle down until after they are 45. Yep, I know that's right. I know that's
Mhm.
right. Yep, yep. It takes a level of maturity. Like when you're
Yes.
tired of just being sick and tired of all these relationships and things not working, you come to a place in life where it's like, okay, I just want to settle down. I'm tired of the foolishness. I don't got time for the games. Like
Mhm.
sometimes it takes men a little longer to catch on to that
Mhm.
than women do. Right. But when your mind is made up that you ain't playing games and it's like it's all or nothing. It's like it's definitely a beautiful thing. Definitely a beautiful.
Mhm.
He said he would like to settle down younger. Okay,
Would have
okay,
loved to.
love
Would have
that.
liked to settle down younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, in the current time, you know what I mean? It's like just bring that into the current. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
just do it now.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. 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 It's still possible. It's still possible.
Mhm.
Yeah. But like I said, but I love. He said like love is just a temporary emotion, and it is, and that's why we're talking about that. Love. Love is not enough in lots of in situations. This is not enough. It's
So
not
what
enough.
entertaining what, Craig? I was like, what
I'm
you talking
40,
about?
I'm 14. I'm done with entertaining it though.
40s is so young. You better. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but so look, so I'm gonna say that that's temporary. You know what I mean? Too, like that feeling of just being like done, with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's true though. And that's what we talked about too. Like you said, like, working on yourself. You know what I mean? The working on that self love, and because, when you're working on self love and just healing your heart, you know what I mean? Like a healed heart is an open heart. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like that frequency of love,
mm-hmm.
it's like it'll attract other love, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
It'll attract other love.
Secondhand emotion. Yep. Yep.
Hmm. What's love got to do with it?
Love got to do with it. Love got to do with it. That's one of my all-time favorite movies because she went through all the emotions and she
Hmm.
overcame, went through the triumph. She had
Yeah.
the insecurities and the lack of trust, the physical, the mental, emotional. He played on her a lot emotionally,
Mhm.
manipulated her and stuff. So I was like, that's one of my all-time favorite movies because I say it's totally
Mhm.
relatable. Like it's like I feel like
Mhm.
she's playing my story out on the big screen in a lot of ways.
Right.
So yeah,
Yes.
I'm so totally relatable to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Man, oh man.
Mhm.
So then we was talking about like the sexual incompatibility. I think we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Mhm.
Like
That'll mess up some love.
it can mess up some love. Kept us together. We like one another. Like each other's company. We like the same thing. I had my thing. I do it here. That's exactly Gio. Love that.
Mhm.
Love, love, love that. Yes. Sometimes you gotta
Mhm.
have your own thing going on, then y'all come together. And I think that's what helps
Yes.
make me and Charlie work. Like we don't try to impede on which each other loves to do. I like
Mhm.
things that he loves to do. I have my things love to do, and we both respect each other's free time. Like when
Yes.
we don't.
Yes. Because it's like, because you're still two individuals. You know what I mean? It's like y'all came together as two whole people.
Yes, yeah,
You
we had our
know?
own identities. It can mess up
Mhm.
friendship too. It can mess up friendship. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
People do change. Yes, it does. Yes, it do.
Mhm.
Yep, yep. But yeah, but so we talking about now, like how sometimes that sexual incompatibility can happen, like the mismatches
Mhm.
and the desires and the preferences and
Mhm.
the values that lead to the frustrations, like even feeling
Mhm.
rejected in the emotionally.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I said that love sometimes is not enough to resolve sexual incompatibility.
Right. It'd be like, maybe we should just be friends.
Friends, be like, yeah, honey, that's a big deal though. That is a
It
big,
is. It
a big
it's a love
deal.
relationships, yes.
Yes, it's not gonna work on us, but honey, listen. And
Mhm.
I feel like that. I was like, I am not a cheater. I've never cheated on anybody in my life. So
Mhm.
if we're in a relationship and that compatibility is not there, honey, we gotta let it go. Just be friends, honey. Yeah,
Mhm.
be friends, cause yeah, cause honey, I can't see myself with you for the long haul. I can't. I just
You're
keep
like,
it
I
in
just be
100.
right here, unfulfilled.
You know, listen. I hate to be. I have let so many things go because the compatibility wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Mm-mm. But that'd
Gotta
be
let
crazy.
it
And
go.
that's the thing though too. Like sometimes people be putting up with relationships just because the sex is good.
I never. Yes. Look, forget everything else. But like, but honey, it's more than just that. Though. It is.
You
It
know
is.
what I'm saying?
Ooh, I can't. No, she said you gotta let it go. Yes, honey, I have let it
Yeah.
go. I was like, no. I was like, this ain't gonna work. And a lot of times it don't even have to like get to like the sexual part. It's like if I can't get past certain things, like your breath, or I don't want you touching me, or something like that. It's like that ain't gonna work either.
If I don't like how you smell, you know what I'm saying? Like your breath, you know what I mean? Like, cause like I'm one of them deep, intimate, sensual type folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I'm breathing your breath, and I'm just Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got to be touching all of my senses.
That
You know
part.
what I'm saying? You're not touching all my senses, then yeah, it's gonna make things and I'm be like, oh, I'm gonna be turned off, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, it'd be
exactly.
like leaving like a bad taste in your mouth or something, you know what I mean? Like so I can't deal with how you smell or how your breath or something like that is and stuff. Our pheromones aren't matching up. We are out of alignment. We out of alignment, we are incompatible, and yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and then, and don't even talk about
That
the teeth
chemistry.
thing. Teeth thing. Be like, no, I don't want you kissing me. No, not with them teeth.
Right. Mhm.
Girl, I can't. Like, but love is not enough to for sexual incompatibility. Is That's not.
Right.
It's not.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and how about that failure to grow together? Like Craig just said, he said he in a relationship with himself at
That's
the moment.
right.
With
Yes, and
myself.
that's a beautiful thing. That is
That
a
is,
beautiful place to be.
it
You know what I'm
is,
saying?
it
Yep,
is,
yep. Getting to
it
know you because sometimes we spend so much time trying to get to know other people outside of us, outside of
Mm-hmm,
our own selves,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
stuff, and don't even be knowing who we are or what we
Yeah,
really truly want. You
right,
know?
right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yep. So then you have that. So they said that failure to grow together. So individual growth is essential, but
Mhm.
together was equally important in a relationship. Absolutely,
Mhm.
equally important.
Indeed.
So,
Yes.
so if your partners grow apart or in different directions, they may find that their love no longer fits the people that they become.
Mhm. Right.
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 Mhm.
Yep. If y'all going a different direction, sometimes you can love somebody and then it just don't work. It still don't work.
Mhm.
And I think that makes it tough though. Like when you're like totally invested and you love this person and you just realizing this thing's just not working. I
Yeah.
feel like that makes it hard to like really like be like, oh, like it
Right.
takes a long time to really like be mature and say, you know what, we have to let it go. We have to let it go.
Mhm.
I think we use love and really try to hold on to things that are not working in our favor. you know,
Mhm.
and like we were talking about like when love is not enough, and we gave a lot of different examples of when love is just isn't enough. You know,
Mhm.
we try to make it enough, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not enough. It's not.
Beautiful topic, Tamika.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Mhm.
we're going to talk about because we about to bring our topic to a close. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
a lot of the guys used to like didn't like just didn't like it anymore, right? Even some
Mhm.
just let go because they were unhealthy for me. That I know that's right. Woo!
That's
Love that.
right.
Love that. Love that. Yes. Yeah. I've
Mhm.
let so many like different dynamics go, like even like with friendships and stuff, because it's just it just wasn't working. It's like I have love for you, and I love you as a person, but I don't think this relationship like really worth it. You know,
Right. You don't see it building. You don't see it like it's no vision.
no
You
vision.
don't see how. Yeah.
Right.
It's not supportive for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. So, but they said like, but even family or cultural differences. And he
Mhm.
said sometimes we get wrapped up in trying to keep family together when it's better to actually let it go. Yep, Craig, let
Mhm.
it go. Yep, yep. But
Let it go.
but sometimes they said the external pressures from family expectations or cultural differences can place a significant strain on relationship. Right.
Mhm.
Like couples may love each other really, really deeply, but find it challenges to handle the pressures from family and cultural differences.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sometimes family can interfere. Like I see it happen so much, especially with different cultures. Different,
Mhm.
oh my God. Different
Mhm.
together and they love each other so much and they want to be together. But it's hard when you got them outside influences saying, well, I want you to marry in our culture or your own kind, and to start clashing and interfering, and then you find yourself struggling and trapped in the middle of this. Like, okay, do I choose the
Mhm.
person that I love? Do I go with my family? Like,
That's
I think
tough.
that's tough. I
Yeah.
think really, really tough.
Mhm.
Tough, right. The lack
Yeah.
of cultural awareness. Yes. That's really, really tough. Yeah, and it just
Right.
a strain on it. And it's like so many relationships have broken up due to like the family differences and stuff. The cultural differences
Mhm.
have really broken up that relationship
Yeah.
because of that. And sometimes the love just is not enough to like hold that together. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So finally we're gonna talk about the lack of effort
Mm.
for both of them. The lack of
Yeah.
effort. Right?
Mhm.
Ew. Relationships require continual effort and
Mhm.
commitment from both partners. When one or both individuals stop putting in the work to communicate, resolve the conflicts, or nurture their connection, the relationship can falter, honey.
Mhm.
Without effort, the love can fade, leading to a stagnant or unfulfilling partnership. Woo! Without
Mhm.
putting the work, without putting in the work, love cannot withstand that. If you're not willing to put in that work, it is not going to work overstand. It's definitely not going to work. And love can definitely fade. Love can definitely fade and make your relationship stagnant if you're not putting in that work. So that
Right.
effort is definitely real. And a lot of times it happens. Relationships that they just start to fizzle out. Like you love each other, but you find yourself not wanting to put in the work, or the one person is putting in more work, and the other person is just content and not trying to put in the work to make the relationship, withstand. And that could definitely like put a strain on the relationship. So I definitely agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah, it create like quite an imbalance.
Yeah.
It's like you need a balance in loving relationships.
Yes. Yep. So the big question is that we're going to close out with is, so can love alone sustain a relationship?
No.
No.
Short
No.
answer, no.
No.
Yeah.
Love
It's like,
alone.
yeah, you just need more than that.
Yeah. He said
Yeah.
absolutely not. Exactly. Nope. Yep. So, yep. And I agree with everybody. Just got to be friends. Exactly. So while love is a fundamental component, it could not sustain a relationship alone. So I agree. Everybody said no. Absolutely. So a successful partnership requires trust, mutual respect, effective communication, and shared goals.
Right.
Without these elements, even the deepest love may struggle.
Right.
And there it is.
And
And there it is.
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we all
Yeah.
can agree that love alone cannot sustain. Love cannot
Yeah.
emotions or their own responsibility. Yep.
How
Yep. Yep.
about that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
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 So yeah. So here we have it, folks. For
Mm-hmm.
all those naysayers, all the people that think, "Oh, I love him, I love her," that love is going to be able to hold it together. No, honey. Love alone is just not enough. And so many different situations, so many different
Mm-hmm.
scenarios. It's not enough. It takes
Yeah.
all these different components. And if you just joined in, we'll challenge you to go back and watch and
Mm-hmm.
do all the different scenarios of proof that love cannot be enough to withstand. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. All
Yeah.
right, Jill. Thank you so much for
Thank
being here.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been our topic. With love is just not enough. So you
Mm-hmm.
could have been anywhere in these YouTube streets and you were part of our live. And it is all love, all
Appreciate
love.
you.
We appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am TB. That's my sister Janae from Artistic Healing Expression.
Hey.
And I always say that you never know we're gonna talk about
Mhm.
on any given Sunday. You never know what we're gonna talk about. This
Yeah.
is my sister talk. Sometimes love can get you hurt by keeping you in situations you should never have been at. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
Learn to
that's what
let
we've been talking
go.
about. That's what we've been talking about. That love is just not enough. When love is not enough,
Mhm.
lot of reasons that you're going to have to let it go because the love just cannot hold it together. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I appreciate you all for being here. I really appreciate you for
Mhm.
being here. Yeah, so if you have
Yes.
not done anything for yourself today, please do something
Mm,
for you. Please do
help
something
yourself.
for you. Yes,
Yes. Mhm.
yes.
Don't
How
love up
how
on yourself.
how to just
Yeah.
say love on yourself, love on you.
Loving
Okay.
yourself.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we
Mhm.
look forward to seeing you on our next Sister Talk Sunday.
Yes.
Everybody have a great week.
Love
Thank you,
you.
love.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
Yes, love you
Yes.
so much. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next Sister
See
Talk
you
Sunday.
next time.
Bye,
Mwah.
everybody.
Peace. Bye, everyone. Love
Yes.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your week.